Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I think I'm just at this point where I'm fed up with a lot of things. Like I think that I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think that I'm a crazy person.
It's great that you're saying this in kind of a whisper too.
No, but like,
hey, listen. I don't think I'm crazy. Okay, I don't think I'm crazy. No one can tell me that I'm crazy.
So basically, kind of off the cusp of what we talked about before on the Patreon and stuff like that. I've been going to the gym, and I've seen increasingly there's just a wave. There's an epidemic in this country at this moment of people.
Two, I think.
Of people who genuinely want to be bigger people than they are. Like, I know my body size. I know my body type. I know that the best thing that I can do is gain about 10 pounds. I gain about 10 pounds, of muscle, and I hold it for the rest of my life. I'm doing really well, because I'm not a tall enough guy to be a big guy. That's not who I am.
Right.
I'm not a huge man.
Okay.
So I don't lift like a huge man would lift. I don't try to pick up 300, pounds and put it on my chest or lift it with my legs or move it at all. If I see 300 pounds, I leave it alone. I've been very good at leaving 300 pounds alone my entire life. My entire life, I've seen 300 pounds worth of stuff and I haven't touched it.
This whole rant has the energy of someone called you small yesterday.
No.
Someone just like, oh, you're little. And you've been like, listen, I don't need to lift those big weights, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? I don't need to. I know I'm not big. I don't need it. I'm comfortable with me. I don't need to lift it. You get out of here.
Everything that you said is true except for somebody calling me small. I'm very comfortable in my body. I know who I am. I like who I am, and I don't need to lift ridiculous amounts of weight just to prove something. Like, honestly, when you lift like that, all you're doing is practicing pushing people away in your life. That's all you're getting stronger for.
Jesus.
That if you were pushing 500 pounds, I bet you could push a sibling away.
Well, so now I want to be clear now too. Are you against anyone just trying to get bigger that way, or are you mainly just coming down on the people who clearly are trying, but they're skipping too many steps?
I'm coming down on people who lift wrong. There's a lot of people out here that are like, if I moved it an inch, I did the whole rep, and that's not life. Yes.
Well, that's like when we watched, if you ever watch those videos, we've watched a couple of the gym fail compilation stuff. And we just did a thing on Patreon about it a little bit. And it's like most of those people who like fall down right away or pass out, it's because your body doesn't want to do that. Your body's shut down because you decided to skip from 200 to 300.
So there was this man in the gym. This is also a very dumb thing to have happen because it's wholly unnecessary because even the gym wasn't equipped for it. Okay. So the gym doesn't have like a trap bar, right? It doesn't have one of those hex bars that so I went to this gym and it's very minimal. Right. And this person took the long bar, like the bar for, squatting and bench pressing and everything. And this person, I don't know what his plan was. I really don't. But this is so stupid. And I should have just been recording him. Anyway, so that
would be the next step of evolution in the show.
Because now I have to explain a thing that's so dumb. I'm going to sound dumb saying it. So
that's going to be fun for me. So
what he did was he took the two bars that are for squatting or bench pressing, and he put weight on either side of those bars. Then he stood in the middle of each of those bars and tried to pick them both up, like he was standing in a hex bar, which if you don't know what a hex bar is, it's a way for you to deadlift where the bar, instead of being one long strip, it's all around you.
It's a hexagon around you.
Yeah. This man took a bar here and a bar here and put weight on either side of them, and then was trying to deadlift them up each.
To explain it, it's as if he took weightlifting bars, but like he put them down like skis.
He put them down like skis, and then
on
he tried
either
to
side
pick it
of
up.
him to reach down to pull them up. And I'm assuming were these like regular length like bench bars?
Yeah, regular length bench bars, which is insane.
Wow.
So then
the confidence that you will be able to balance that perfectly.
So then
with only your wrists is.
This dude then stands up. So he does do the rep. I'm not I gotta give him full credit. He did the rep. But what he ends up doing after that is each bar in his hand starts like swinging. Like it starts like swinging one side. So now he's shifting his weight to try to balance them, which you don't even have to do.
Jesus.
You did the rep. You did the rep. Let it go. You could drop it. It would make a loud noise.
So he did the rep and then he's just holding them now. And then
he did the rep. I think what he was trying to do is do the rep and then shrug it. I think he was trying to stand up and then shrug.
Oh, do a little shrug.
But as he's trying to shrug it, he like knocks him off balance. So now he just looks like the world's worst juggler. Like nothing's leaving his hands, but everything's moving. And people are starting to get concerned. Like, you don't want to get close enough to actually spot him, but you kind of, if he had had two friends, first of all, if he had had two friends, he wouldn't have done this. But if he had two friends, they could have run up and grabbed the bar and taken each one out of his hand and told him that he was an idiot. But because he doesn't, he's just sort of swinging both bars and then is turning as he's swinging, because now he's truly off balance, right?
It's like those videos you see of bridges that go crazy, you know?
Yeah, those bridges that
and wobble and they just freak the hell out.
Yeah. So then he's like this, and he starts banging into a couple things, like some benches and stuff, because the whole area is not wide enough for him to be doing this. And so then he bangs into a couple things, and he finally is like, I should set these down, and you can see just
stop.
You can see the strain on his face as he's trying to set them down while they're also uneven, and he just refuses to drop them, because I guess that would be in poor taste. And so he finally sets them down. When he stands back up after that, if you want to call it a rep, he is so genuinely lightheaded. Like, bro, I could see it. I was like, this dude wants to pass out. This dude wants to pass out so bad. And if nothing else but the sheer, like a man's ego is an incredibly powerful thing.
For sure.
An ego will give you the strength to lift that, but it will also remind you of how embarrassing it would be to pass out, to the point where you force oxygen into your brain so you don't pass out. This dude was wobbling. He wobbled to the water fountain, and then he stayed at the water fountain for quite a while, and then just didn't drink any water. This dude is leaning on the water fountain for strength.
Because he knew bending over the rest of the way would take him down. That's where his body would give up to actually get to the drink.
Yeah, if I actually stand up from this water fountain, I'll just pass out and bang my head on this water fountain.
Wow. I do wonder sometimes. Like, I don't go to the gym often, so that's why I don't know a lot of gym stories when Josh brings it up. But there is always there's always people. And did this guy too seem like actually kind of in shape too?
No, he was in shape. That's why that's always that.
And that's always the mind blowing part too. It's always really in shape people. But you see everything they do is a buck wild choice. And obviously that's not how you set that up. Don't do it that way.
Don't ever.
Then you're like, how did you avoid injury long enough to get in good shape? It's like they seem like they got lucky for so long, and you're catching the one. Or is that every time? Does this guy feel like he's about to pass out every goddamn time? And in his mind, he's like, man, that's a hell of a workout. One rep makes you want to pass out.
Can you imagine almost passing out and then having to, in your head, go, oh, one.
Day's just getting started.
Yeah.
Set one, rep one down.
I also love the it was deeply uncomfortable. So if someone actually listens to this podcast that does CrossFit, I'm sure they'll correct us in some way or fashion. But to my knowledge, and I just call them CrossFit pull-ups because they're wrong, and I've only ever seen people who do CrossFit do them. Okay. Have you seen the pull-up where you're just fully using momentum to get the next rep? So it just looks like you're chest bumping the bar, like you're just riding.
Yeah.
I've literally only ever seen people who I know do CrossFit do it that way. That's just, right. I don't know if that's how they teach you or if they just don't care and they count those as reps. But basically, I was watching this guy in the gym one time that was doing those, and there's a guy standing on the ground that's trying to use the pull down machine, and he is just catching like whiffs of crotch at every like rub with the bar. He's just like, and it's like he's like truly catching crotch in the ear, like just. And he's like trying to just do his reps, and you can tell he's just swallowing the anger. He's just like, oh, okay.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know how more people don't just die in gyms, to be honest.
It's such a weird, the concept of a gym is wild because you pay me the money and then you just free range. You can just go. But that doesn't mean you know how to work out. Like,
no, God, no.
I've even said that on stage before. I was like, you just took my money. I haven't graduated any program or anything.
Yeah.
So now I've just given you money to be allowed to hurt myself here.
Nah, you're good. Go in there. Throw around all those big, heavy circles. You got it, bud. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Here's a sticker. Yeah.
And for $25.99, I'll believe in you a little bit extra every month with one of our specialized trainers.
Yep. And I'll be here every week in my polo doing this. Give a little thumbs up at you. And then once you walk away, I do not want to fucking hear from you again. Once you're in there with the big dangerous stuff, I don't want to hear from you. Get in there. Fuck it up.
My friend in Chicago. Do you remember when I was in Chicago, I was at that Export Fitness?
I remember you talking about it. Yeah.
Okay. So I joined this Export Fitness gym when I lived in Chicago. And it was like, if I had been thinking and if it had been any other time in my life, I wouldn't have done it actually. Like you join that gym and they want all the money up front. There's no monthly plan. At least while I was there was no monthly.
Oh, so like for
plan.
The year you pay
they want
up front for a yearly
year
cost?
And a half up front.
Damn.
It's wild. And then their January special, their like promotion that they do is that they'll give you, they say they're giving you like 4 months up to 6 months free. But you're not. That's just what you charge. And you're like if I divide it, I didn't save anything. You know what I mean? Like maybe the promotion goes away, but it probably comes back. So this is just what you charge at this gym. Like, don't act like you're doing me some huge favor.
Right.
I said all that to say that when I was there was one guy who would always roast me because he wanted to train me. And so his sales tactic was to just belittle me every time he saw me.
Oh, yeah. You told me about this guy. Yeah.
So he would just roast me hard. He'd just be like, what's that extra small? Like, just like everything about my shirts, about everything. And I was just like, nah, it's a regular
small.
I'm
comfortable with my size. I don't need to be in here lifting this heavy stuff.
Yeah.
So this happened recently, everybody.
And this dude was torn, right? This dude was like Terry Crews levels torn. And he'd just be like, hey, I see you in this gym. I see you moving around. You can move a little weight, but you guessing. Why you guessing? Like he would do that every time. I would come in, I would work out. I would know it was back day. So I would do only my back. And then just for fun, sometimes for cardio, I do the ropes. They have the ropes that you can do, little like shaking the ropes. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Shaking the ropes.
Yeah. It's like that. Isn't it a football thing? Don't you guys do that in football a lot?
It's for, I mean, not at my school. We didn't have big ropes, but yeah, for you. The big ass ropes you throw around. Rope shaking.
Yeah, the rope shaking.
Yeah, do that.
And so I would do something like that. And anytime I turned around and I was doing an exercise that was outside the bounds of the body group I was working that day, that dude would, I would just see him in the corner and he'd just be shaking his head. It's like it was the most
disappointed in you from afar.
Dude, it was the most flattered but bullied, but like
right.
It was insane, and it went on for months, dude. It went on for months. This dude, I would come in because I wasn't even coming in every day. There were some.
You gained like a high school athlete dad.
Yeah,
like you gained him. Like he was disappointed in you that you weren't living up to the potential.
Yeah. This dude was
to
wild.
Make the team. He expects more of you, John.
Yeah. And then he was like, what was he told me one time? He was like, oh man, I saw you in here one time. I saw you doing those tricep extensions. I was scared for your life. I was scared for your life. Okay.
I was scared for your life.
Because like you couldn't handle that weight. You couldn't handle it. And I thought your little arms were gonna snap in half. This dude is telling me this. And then I was like, hey, if you saw me struggling, why didn't you help me? And he was like, I almost ran up to spot you, but sometimes people need to learn.
You need to let a dude die to learn his lesson.
And I was like, why would I want to train with you if I know you almost let me hurt myself? And he was like, but I didn't let you hurt yourself because you didn't hurt yourself. I'm like, don't act like a guardian angel. Like,
yeah, don't act like you could tell I was going to get out of it.
Yeah,
if you were worried, because that's how you started this.
Because the time that he's talking about, I couldn't even remember. So it's not like I almost died and he saw me. And then he brought it up later. Whatever he's talking about, I was like, are you sure you're even talking about me? Like,
yeah.
Because also,
do all us littles look the same to you?
Yeah. Does everyone under 6 feet, under 200 pounds look the same to you? You know? Which would be hilarious, by the way, is if you're such a big dude, if you walk around looking like Terry Crews and the rest of the world looks like minions to you.
All I see is forehead. I don't know. I can't. Everyone looks the same. Whether
they're 4 foot or they're 5, like 9. You're like, I can't. I don't. What? Dude, it was truly chaos. This dude would he wouldn't follow me around. He would just always be there.
But he'd be watching from across the room.
This dude, and I never really looked out for him that much. Anytime I happened to see him was me looking back. Does that make sense? Like he was never in my field of vision.
Yeah.
He would just be, if I just happened to take a break, like I'm drinking water and I turn around, he's just in the distance in the gym, just like I've never seen someone try to sell me.
He can't even drink hard enough.
There's no one that's ever tried to sell me that hard.
Yeah,
because he was he told me, he was like, man, I can see you got a little shoulder, you got a little chest. It's just wasted potential.
Yeah, that's a real gym stepdad. That's a
real. Yeah.
You know,
I was like, if anything, I can't work out with you now. You know that, right? Like, I can't.
Because even now, there's too much feeling involved.
This is too intense.
You're already too disappointed in me. I want to at least start a median with someone.
And then
slowly disappoint them over time.
And then there was at that gym, so much happened at that gym because there was a thing where if you open the wrong door, an alarm would sound, and for whatever reason they actually had to clear everybody out of the gym. So if you went out of one of those doors, you'd lose your membership, and it was written on the door. It was written on the door.
You lose your membership even?
You lose your membership.
Wow.
Because because they were only part of that building. And so I guess if you sound that alarm, you end up actually like having them make everyone evacuate that's in the building. I think outside the export
just because of that, just because that alarm goes off, they have to, like, by policy, get everyone out.
Because I asked, because it was written on 5 doors. And I asked one of the guys one day, just one of the guys that worked there, I don't even know if he was a trainer, and I asked him why, and he was like, because once it goes off, it doesn't stop. Like someone has to come, like,
oh,
I guess you have to put a key in it. I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, and sometimes the fire department's the one that has like that key.
Yeah. And so the worst part about that thing was they're the 5 doors that are like to the sidewalk. They're the most reasonable doors to exit.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yeah. So I almost did it one time, and I'm surprised I never did it. But I watched a guy do it once, and you could just see his face, like the color.
Then you lose your membership.
You lose your membership.
Wow.
The color just drains from his face, and he only cracked it, and it went off, and we all had to like walk out, and I just left because I was like, I was almost done anyway. I'll just leave in these clothes. Right. I don't need this bad.
I feel like that's something that I know it's an emergency exit, so you can't block it. But I feel like you could put like one little yellow tape, caution thing just right across it. Yeah. That would stop people. That stops people. And that you can run through that in an emergency. That's not gonna hold anybody.
Yeah.
If the gym is suddenly fully on fire in the middle, which would be hard to do. Someone was working out so hard they burst into flames. Like that's for that to happen. One of the best workouts I saw someone do was there, and it was this guy. It was these 2 dudes who looked identical. Like one of them spotted me one time, and I guess I let it slip that I thought they were twins or something. And they were like, no, we're just buddies. And it was so funny to me because they looked identical. It was like, really?
They looked like 2 Joe Rogans. Like two dudes that couldn't have, because they were both
Dos
bald.
Rogans?
They were both bald, and they both had the shoulders and everything.
Yeah.
Anyway, when they would work out, I love to see it, because at first I thought they were trolling, because this is the beginning of people putting those YouTube videos of them doing weird, annoying workouts.
Oh, yeah. Screaming and shit.
These dudes were not trolling at all. Their workout grunt sounded like an injury, and it couldn't have been funnier. Every rep that it was really one guy that did it more than the other guy, but every rep that this guy would do, he would go wait, don't make me laugh, stop. Okay, wait.
Oh, doing it.
Every rep he would go, oh. Every rep, it didn't matter if he was doing chest press, he would be doing chest press, he'd be doing shoulder press, he would be doing like pull-ups, and he would go
That sounds like you did something that like pisses off your dad. Like he looks at, he's like, "Aw, come on, I gotta fix this now."
And the worst part about it was that his form was like impeccable. Like you actually could have made a tutorial video of this dude and just have him going, oh.
Yeah, it's a workout video where they're showing form and they never address the noises that the athlete in the video is making. Because what we're trying to get is, if you look right here, that's the kind of motion we're looking for.
And it was like,
and it's just in the guy's trying to talk over it to camera. He's here, in the background.
Because to me, this I guess what makes me laugh about it so hard is that his level of grunt was obviously based off the level of weight he was doing.
Right.
So when he was doing hard shoulder presses, he was like, oh, right? But then when he was doing just we're talking about body squats. He would be like, oh. And it was my favorite. I was so excited when they would work out because it was so funny. At first, I thought they were trolling, and by the third time, I was like, "Oh, this is earnest." Like,
they both did it. They both made that noise.
The other guy did it less than the main. The main guy did it the most, and he did it the loudest.
Because it'd be great if they both had the exact same noise, and then they look alike too, and just trading places. Blah, blah. Oh,
I'm so glad that we're getting good stuff. I have a very bad feeling that my battery's about to die. So
on your camera,
it'll be less for you to edit, but it does mean we may not have a full video episode because I don't know.
Is it giving the battery sign right now, or
it's giving the battery sign? And I charged it, and it wasn't full, but it was on 2 bars, and it's only been 30 minutes.
Is it giving you the battery sign, or is it flashing the little red one for the card, meaning it's recording?
No, it's flashing the battery red and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we'll take it till it goes, but yeah, I'll just keep talking. Because
I'm wondering too if we want
plenty of good stuff for video. But yeah, so anyway, I love when there's a movement in the gym, or there's just a certain exertion that's just not regular, because these exercises are not new. There's rarely new equipment, and even when there is, it's new equipment helping you do an old exercise.
Right. Yeah.
So I used to love the guys who came in with the respirators before COVID. Do you remember those dudes who would come in with the oxygen mask?
I mean, I've seen guys in oxygen masks. Josh, I don't go to the gym, bud.
Yeah, but I just mean
in the time you've known me, I don't go to the gym.
Yeah, I just mean if you've seen it in passing, I know you don't go
oxygen tanks. Yeah, I've seen.
No, not oxygen tanks. The little mask.
Oh, like the white mask, or
kind of it'll be the mask with the 2 circles on either side.
Okay, like an old ventilation mask kind of thing.
Yeah, and people would work out in those. And it was always funny to watch because they were trying to mimic working out in altitude, I guess.
Is that the point of that?
I believe so. And it's so funny because
that's your camera turning off.
Yeah.
Well, Josh's camera turned off. We're going to finish the episode. So, hey, something's going to happen video-wise.
That's so funny. Oh, okay. So yeah, no, you would just see a guy in a respirator or something, and and every once in a while you would see a guy who's really slowing down. This was a bad idea. He should not be doing this. He's not it's not that he's not fit. There's just a level of fitness for what you want to do versus where you are.
Right. Yeah.
And he's not at that place where he can run on the treadmill for an hour in that respirator. It's just not happening.
Right.
And so you would see him just really contemplating his life, but with the mask still on. This whole thing probably seems like less of an issue since we've lived in COVID and have watched people have emotions with the mask on. But the first time I ever saw someone have a full on breakdown, I was in a mask. I was in a gym, and this dude was just huffing and puffing, but walking back and forth with his hands on his hips, but refused to take the mask off. But was just
this was pre-COVID. You said
this is pre-COVID. So
okay.
So my man does look crazy.
Yeah, it's people like that too. You look around, you can't we can't all be training for something. We all can't be training for some sort of life-changing journey we're about to go on. And it seems like that's what some are trying to do. I gotta be ready to run a mountain, maybe.
I'll do you one better. Better. Most of us shouldn't be training for anything.
Yeah, that's the flip side of it. Most of us just should not be. Yeah.
Because this is the thing. A lot of people mistake what good longevity exercise is. It's very little of it is lifting, actually. You need to be active to the point where you're walking every day, and you need to be moving for yourself when it's necessary. So you going, like, I think that New York keeps people just by virtue of what it takes to live here. I think New York actually does help you stay healthy if you decide to walk instead of Uber and bus everywhere.
Well,
that alone
when I was
is
there,
doing like wonders for you.
When I was there and we talked about how hot it was, I think I lost like 7 pounds just from like purely walking around and sweating my ass off.
Yeah,
and then the agility too, because remember that last day, New York threw a few rats and roaches at me, so maybe kind of have to stay quick.
Yeah. Because honestly,
it happened twice on the way home. A rat ran through my feet, which is like fine, but it's startling once. Twice, you kind of go like, really?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, that thing. Oof. When you have to just like get somewhere on foot that you don't even care to be, that really makes you take your time when you're walking. And I think that just that alone is really good exercise.
Even that, dude. That's what I love too about people that live in New York, and you do it a lot, where it's like you're even trying to praise it for something, and you're like, yeah, but then you gotta walk, and you don't even want to be there.
No, yeah.
Every statement always has this layer of being like, and also like, what's even the point and why? But New York. This is wildly off topic. I mean, I guess not. It's about staying limber, staying loose. But this might only be interesting to you and not our listeners at all. But Maddie caught a possum the other night.
So your dog, that is how old?
She turns 12 this week.
So your dog that is 12 years old this week caught a possum. Bro,
I was proud of her. She's never caught anything.
It caught a possum that I'm assuming was agile.
It was a small possum. Like, it was small and like thin. I actually thought I saw it at one point. There was a quick second in my head where I'm like, is that a ferret? Because I've never seen one so long and like black before, but it was definitely a possum because I saw it had the tail and it wasn't a rat. And then she went right to it. She had it. She knew where it was gonna be. I'm really proud of her. She's a shit hunter for a hound. So she was ready. She bolted, cut it off, and it was in her mouth with one grab, and then it did the full like possum like blah, like play dead thing. And it was really, honestly too, I'm gonna critique this possum's performance, hamming it up a little bit. It was a bit much.
Do you think if possums...
It had its mouth open and its tongue out. It was going, bah. And I'm like, all right.
Do you think if possums could talk, they'd be like, oh, you got me. I have been murdered.
Ooh. Oh, you got me. The light. Oh, no. I see my grandma.
Ooh, I'm so dead. Ooh. Oh, you gonna kill me? Ooh.
And she was, I think Maddie was surprised she caught it because at one I like yelled, I was like, Maddie, drop it. And she kind of looked at me like, I don't know what to do now. She just had it in her mouth looking at me. And then she dropped it and I dragged her in. And then once I closed the door, I saw the possum get up and like, ugh, and then like walk out of the yard.
Dude,
that's the part that grossed you out the most was the possum walking away.
Yeah, that was...
What do you think was going to happen next?
I hadn't prepared myself for that part.
For the thought of a possum walking? Okay, interesting.
So over the weekend, I was in Ojai, California, with Sally and her parents and everything. And in the middle of the night, I went to the bathroom. And in the bathroom, while I was on the toilet, just trying to, do my natural thing, a spider.
Trying to do my natural thing.
A spider that just had too many legs. Okay, a spider with
more than the regular 8
coming out of its legs. Yeah, like this.
A 15-legged spider came out.
This spider had a fat old ass, which to me reads as poison.
You're probably not wrong.
Yeah. So I just like immediately grab a towel and stomp the shit out of it,
Right.
I'm just stomp, right? I move the towel. This is all while I'm still on the toilet. Like I'm not standing up or anything, right?
Right.
And so I can barely even reach it. I'm like extending my leg to stomp it. And then I move the towel and it's all crumbled,
So you're standing on the toilet but stomping down at it. Raining down from above is what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just trying to, yeah.
And so then I move the towel and it's all crunchy, like I've been through a blender stance, whatever, right? And then I think it's dead. I'm still on the toilet, so I can't do anything about it at the moment. And I genuinely almost screamed though, because I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm almost done. And as I'm about to like stand up, it fully just extends all of its legs and runs away. And
wow.
And I was ready to throw up. Because if you've ever watched a spider come back to life, you know how disgusting it looks. Like it stayed in that crumpled position because it thought, okay, if I stay like this, maybe they'll leave me alone. And he was right.
Yeah.
Then I go have a great day. We went on a hike. It was beautiful. We saw some oranges along the way that were like truly like so ripe that they were falling off the tree. Incredibly sweet. We ate a couple of them. And then we went into town, had a great brunch, and just like had a really, really nice day. Then that night, I go to the bathroom again, and this is I'm pretty regular. I don't want to brag, but I go to the bathroom again, and as I am on the toilet,
shut the fuck up. Hit me in waves of you bragging about being regular. All right, go ahead. What happened?
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a great thing. Yeah,
it means your life.
Some
is
people
in
aren't
order.
that way. Yeah.
So anyway,
my girlfriend's jealous of me. I'm more regular. She absolutely. She's called me out. She's like you got your times in the day. I go, yes, I do.
Yeah. And so
it's called training.
Ugh.
Huh? Come on. It's called aspiring to greatness.
Oh God. Okay. So anyway, I go to the bathroom again, and I'm in the same position, just vulnerable. Okay, pants down, knees up. All right.
That's the way I like to fuck.
And so.
You said it in the perfect rhythm. I couldn't help but say it.
What I can only assume is the same spider comes from under this set of like drawers that are in the bathroom, and I'm like, he's asking to be murdered now. Like now he's actually asking. So I laid a trap. I dropped a washcloth on the floor and let him walk on it. And then I threw the towel over, and then I stomped it, because now there's nothing flat for him to like, weasel around with. He can't like shimmy and everything. He's between two textured surfaces that are going to be smushed together. So now I got him right in my mind. Now he's done.
But what's that? He's behind you with a gun.
And so then I stop. I finish using the bathroom. I stand up, right? I
regular
check
amount of time.
Again. I check, very regular amount of time. I'm not a freak. I check again, and he's still there. I then go, and this is my fault. I did this to myself, okay? This is not a good thing that I did. But just out of the fact that he defied me once, and then I lost him, and now I got him again, and I laid a trap for him. I think it's Macho Man Randy Savage's People's Elbow, right?
The People's Elbow is The Rock, but Randy Savage did the Flying Elbow. The Atomic Elbow.
I'll show you what I did, and you tell me who it belongs to, okay? I went ahead and I slapped
I'll just say the two elbow moves.
I slapped the elbow, and I did a little jump, and I came down as best as I could. The problem is, when I went to...
That hurts when you do it?
When I went
on the floor?
When I went to come down in the bathroom, I slipped on a different towel. And so I nearly put my elbow through the wall. Because as I was coming down, it just threw my trajectory off. Like, now I'm falling, but I'm more falling towards the wall. And when I went to... I didn't try it again. When I went to move the towel, the spider was gone.
Okay. I got a few things we need to just go back through and just touch on.
Go ahead and shoot.
Okay. So you genuinely decided to drop an elbow on the spider.
I already killed him. Now it's time to insult him.
And you thought, like, this won't go wrong.
I thought there was enough room in the bathroom.
But you're still going to come down on, like, the flat floor with your elbow. It's not going to feel great.
Yeah, but I'm going to land on rugs and towels.
Okay. All right. Fair. Okay, fair. But then
I should have pointed out there was a big rug in the bathroom.
That's still... Okay. I'm like, you're lucky you didn't, like, fracture your fucking elbow just dropping it on the flat floor.
I was going to hit him
in the bathroom.
I was going to hit him with more tricep meat than elbow.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you're really trying to do a stunt fall. I get it. I gotcha. But then ultimately, the spider did escape. And so now you're just showboating.
I mean, I don't know why that's such a arc of the story.
I'm just saying the spider has bested you twice now. And you got so cocky you were about to do a celebratory elbow drop onto it. That would be like if when The Rock does the People's Elbow and he, like, pulls off the shoulder pad and does, like, the thing, he's not realizing the wrestler is slowly crawling away until he drops the elbow and he's like, oh, damn it, they left. I didn't look.
I guess it would be like that.
Yep.
How about we open the mailbag?
No, you don't get to just pull that ripcord on me. You know the story you just told. Fine, we can open the mailbag if you want. Let's see here. I wasn't prepared. Let me open it up. All right, this first one here. This one is from Ivana. And the title of it says, "How do I get in the mailbag?" And then the body says, "Yay, please help, thanks." Hey, you've done it.
Your wish was granted.
You got in the mailbag. That's how you do it. You email joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. So send away, Ivana. You've done it.
That's so fun.
Congrats. I love that. Because it's also like the way to do it, and they nailed it. So
Ivana killed it.
It's perfect. All right. This next one here, this is from Daniel, and I figured this one's on topic because it's called Puking at the Gym. And we just had stories of gym craziness and unfortunate bathroom craziness with your spider fight. So let's see. This is from Daniel. Hey, Josh and Logan. Over the past year or so, I have discovered Josh's stand-up and really enjoyed all that I could find on the internet. When I found out that y'all were hosting your own podcast, I knew I had to check it out. Since listening in for the first time, I have been listening to you all every day and have thoroughly enjoyed each episode since. I particularly enjoyed the episode Say Something Dummy, partly because of the ridiculous story, but also because Logan's infectious laugh. Great stuff. That one, I really got broke in that one. So, but also, if they just recently discovered the show, I think that was episode 99, wasn't it? Like,
I think so. God
damn. Just, God, some of y'all are amazing. Just the way you sprint through, like I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to share a story with you that I think you might get some amusement out of. My whole life, I grew up overweight and very insecure about my body. I was never proud of how I looked or felt, and in the summer of 2018, I decided that I was going to change that once and for all before I started college. I decided to join a gym, and one of my best friends, who had been working out consistently for a few years at this point, prior to this, I had never had any official weight training or gym experience in my life. However, I did play sports for most of my life, so I was not entirely unsure of myself when I first walked into the gym. However, where I was a total novice was in the kitchen. For most of my life, I had the diet of a middle schooler. Pizza rolls, fudge rounds, potato chips, and that good Southern cooking is what I grew up on. This was also the food that I ate when I first initially started working out. I bought every kind of supplement that I could get my hands on, protein powders, pre-workout, BCAAs, you name it, I bought it. You might now be able to see where this story is going, but if not, I promise I will arrive to the point soon. I love a pre-story tease. You might see where this is going. If you don't, I'll tell you. One day I decided that I wanted to go to the gym to work out. However, I was hungry at the time, and I was not about to go to the gym on an empty stomach. Lucky me, my family had ordered pizza the night prior, so there had been plenty of leftover pizza for me to eat. So I regretfully ate more pizza than I should have, guzzled down my pre-workout concoction, and headed to the gym. On the way to the gym, I began to feel an uneasiness in my stomach, but I was filled with #brotivation. Thank you, and was not about to be stopped by a little bit of a tummy ache. Once arriving to the gym, Once arriving to the gym, I decide that it is time to do some back exercises. So like any other gym bro, I sat down at the rowing machine to start my beginning sets. I should also note two things at this point. One, I arrive at the gym around 6 p.m., which is the absolute rush hour for the gym. There were people everywhere, and I was practically shoulder to shoulder with everyone in the gym. Two, the rowing machine I was using was in the literal middle of the gym, which meant that I was surrounded by people and mirrors on all sides. Okay. All right, back to the story. I think he's putting that like out of game, in game. So I sit down to begin my sets, and my stomach is feeling uneasy. I complete set 1, no big deal. However, set 2 was a different story. As I am performing my second set, I can feel the unholy mix of pre-workout and pizza, and my stomach begin to return to the surface. Stricken with fear of what was about to happen, I panic and freeze. Then the unthinkable happened. I puked onto the rowing machine in the middle of the gym during the middle of rush hour. I sat there in the middle of the gym with the nastiest mix of stomach acid, pizza, and pre-workout you have ever seen, just sitting on the rowing machine. That sounds like it would look like the slime from Ghostbusters 2.
It also would be, because it's a rowing machine, it'd be so funny if he slid back while it happened.
Oh, it like fell off the back of it. Like, bah! Pushed him in this moment, my fight or flight instinct kicked in, and I fought everyone there. No, that's not what happens. But that would be, I just started throwing punches. No, I immediately ran towards the paper towel station. I ripped off some paper towels, frantically cleaned up my puke, and then sat to finish my set and work out like nothing happened. That's a bold move. No, this is normal. That's how it goes. If that doesn't happen to you, you're doing it wrong. To this day, I can't believe that I did not just get up and leave in humiliation of the fact that I just puked in the middle of the busiest gym in town. But for some reason, I was compelled to complete my workout. I hope you enjoyed the story of me being slightly humiliated in public. I still get a kick out of this to this day. Life is funny, isn't it?
What a beautifully chaotic ending.
Anyways, thanks for all you do. Keep up the good work. Take care, Daniel. There's also some PSs here. Do you want me to read those?
Yeah, please.
P.S. I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and would love to see y'all perform stand-up here someday. Don't know if my city has ever been on the radar, but I'd love to put our name in the running for future shows just in case you guys are ever feeling up to it. I mean, half show will travel is usually our deal, but...
Yeah, right.
You know, a little bit. So Chattanooga, probably not out of range. PSS... that's postscript. It'd be PPS, right? Postscript.
Yeah, PPS.
And not meaning to correct. I read it and then my brain got stuck of being like, that's not.
You don't have to explain yourself. You're doing great.
Hey, thanks, buddy. That's the most supportive he's ever been to me on the show. That's the nicest Josh has ever been to me. And his camera's not working, so there isn't even video evidence of it now. Damn it.
Yeah, there'll be a cartoon, though.
I also come from a small town like Josh, and growing up, we also had a firework man. Our firework man also operated out of an 18-wheeler container with awnings cut into it like the one Josh mentioned that he purchased fireworks from in episode 101, the Louisiana Avengers. My firework man left his firework container in the parking lot of our grocery store year-round, and it would open up in July. Oh, wow. So a year-round... That truly is then just a spirit Halloween. Like it opens for the 1 month and then just sits empty.
100%.
Glad to hear that I'm not the only one who grew up with a small town with a local firework man. Maybe my town was just too small to even have a firework man. Maybe you guys were big small towns. We didn't even have a fireworks industry in my hometown.
Yeah, imagine being a little city slicker.
Yeah, that's probably good, huh?
Yeah.
We're just going a little short on this one, but...
Thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, Josh Johnson on Twitter, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips and full videos of the show. And if you're looking for Logan...
You can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get in the mailbag like those people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. Or you can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, which we also like to read in the air. And I just had some sent to me, actually, from our Canadian iTunes reviews.
Oh, wow.
Our buddy D sent me a couple. So maybe we'll have to read, now that I have some international iTunes reviews, maybe we'll read some next time.
Yeah, please.
And you can also, what's the next thing I say? It's about the Patreon. That's what it is. So if you join our Patreon, patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show, we have bonus podcasts there, bonus video stuff, and access to past virtual live shows, full replays at a certain level, which we'll probably be doing one of those here soon. We'll be posting. We haven't scheduled that yet.
Yeah.
The next virtual show, well, we're going to do it again this month.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun.
Keep an eye out for that. Follow us on all those socials to get those details.
Come on through and watch yourself when you work out. Be your own spotter, you know? Be careful.
Be your own spotter. Now that's kind of inspirational. I like that. And it can be taken either way. Like be your own spotter at the gym. Be your own emotional spotter. You know, take care of you. Be your own heart spotter. Heart spot doesn't sound good. That sounds like something that'll kill you.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Yeah. Ooh, you got a heart spotter. Ooh. Killed him. One of that killed my uncles.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Yeah, heart spotter seems like it'll do you in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the Widowmaker. The old heart spotter. It's hard to say quick, too. I'm just going to see how long I can drag out this. Because I have a heart spot. Yeah, the heart spot's really... Yes, slurred speech is the first sign of a heart spotter. Well, all right. I'm going to call my doctor. Thanks for listening.
I can't tell the story is hilarious or heartbreaking. I think you'll decide. There's a pastor in Colorado that scammed his congregation out of $3.2 million. No, it's a heartwarming story. It was all for crypto. He made a coin. And he passed it off to his congregation, saying that the Lord wanted to bless them. And then they invested. And then he's now been caught and is being charged with fraud. And he pocketed 1.3 million of the 3.2 million. And so he came out and he made a video, and in the apology video, he is very honest. He's like, listen, the Lord spoke to my wife and I and said to, make this coin and everything. And I even said to God, I like how he acts like God is a guy, just like, and that he's a guy that he can't get on the phone right now, but was talking wild a couple weeks ago. And so he's like, and then look, I was even asking God, because I'm not even omniscient like God is. I'm not over here like God. And I even asked God, I was like, where's the liquidity going to come from? And honestly, if your pastor ever says liquidity to you, that should be the first sign to run. Run as fast as you can, as far away as possible. And so he's like, I even asked God, where's the liquidity gonna come from? And God said, trust me. And so then I immediately told you it would be fine. That's my bad. I want you to know, out of that 1.3 million that my wife and I pocketed, 500,000 went to the IRS, which is a meaningless detail, by the way. Like, yes, you paid your taxes, but that's just a weird thing that the pastor did to be like, hey, look, while we're being honest, I got fucked too, okay? IRS really get everybody, don't they? It's like, as much as we hate the IRS, you're not going to flip this around on them right now. And then he got caught, and he's like, yes, we did spend it on some trips and a home renovation that the Lord told us to do. And I'm starting to think that Lord is just some guy's last name to him. Just a Marcus Lord that does a lot of cocaine. It's like, I got a new coin. You should tell your peeps, you should get them in on it. Because I've read a good portion of the Bible, and I don't know. No, like, I'm not saying I'm smarter than everyone that was in the congregation. I'm expressly not saying that. Like, but it is a thing where it's like, if you read the Bible, what he's saying will be weird. You know what I mean? Like, if you read the Bible and you have a general understanding of it, when a guy comes to you and he's like, listen, the Lord about them gains, okay? I think it makes it easier for you to be like, oh, I think this guy is full of shit. Thank you. But that's a scary thing, though, is that, like, there's a blurred line now, blurred almost to the point of being indistinguishable between, like, pastors and influencers. You know what I mean? Like a pastor used to be, at least where I come from, a pastor used to at least be poor. You know what I mean? When a pastor is poor, they're very easy to believe. Because you see how poor they are, and they're like, oh, you really about that life. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a poor pastor is like it's like a gang member that has been shot a few times, where you can see the lumps. And you're like, oh, you're really dangerous, okay. A pastor that's poor makes a more convincing argument. Because even when you try to check their work, you're like, if nothing else, even if they are absolutely out of their mind, they at least believe this because they're willing to dedicate their whole life to, and to it exactly, to it only, right? To whatever mission they feel like God has led them to. They're willing to focus solely on that, to the point of being completely removed from the world, right? So any worldly thing doesn't affect them. They have no interest in it. They're only focused on whatever the thing is. Maybe it's helping people. Maybe it's spreading the word. Maybe it's knocking on doors at 6 a.m. or whatever they feel led to do. And then a rich pastor tells, a rich pastor has a more alluring argument. Because a rich pastor rolls up in a Rolls Royce in a $10,000 suit with a $200,000 watch and a pinky ring. Like, the amount of pastors dressing like pimps needs to be talked about. Do you know what I mean? It's like there's too many wires crossing with, like, I'll see a pastor dressed fully like Don Bishop Juan, and I'll be like, oh, yes, you are pimping your congregation. Yes, I get it. Wow. And in their faces too, you're brazen with it because you dress rich in front of them and they're poor to make you rich. And wow, that is ballsy. Maybe you do have God's protection. That's crazy that you're going to do that in their face. And then you tell them what you buy. If you see these televangelists, they tell the people what they bought with the money that they said was going to missions and to... Because when the plate is getting passed around, it's so that we can help the poor and that we can spread the word and that we can, sort of build up the church to have things for you as a community. One of the only reasons to have church is for a community. It doesn't even have to be fully like-minded people. It can just be people that you feel like safe and in communion with. And so, yes, sometimes everybody pulls their money together and then they're like, what would be great is a rec center for the kids. And then a church will put all their money into building a building that could be a rec center for the kids so that they don't get in trouble. There are lots of things and ways that churches spend money that I do think are good. And so when I see like a mega church's facilities, I'm not immediately skeptical. It's when I see the person and he's dressed so much like a pimp. Like, I cannot stress this enough. It is full pimp outfit. Like, it's to the point of tacky. Like, we're not even talking about just because he has a suit. I'm talking about he has like... They are all stopping short of a cane. Like, they're millionaires in your face, and they're telling you, I have all this stuff because, because God blessed me with this jet. I purchased this jet for the Lord so that I could fly from place to place quicker, spreading the message. And I would even believe that if we didn't have Zoom. If Zoom was not a thing, I would get a pastor being like, I have to get over there to spread the word as quickly as possible. They don't know. They have no idea. And it's not like we can send them a telegram or something. It's not like there's been iterations of communication for decades that would negate me buying a jet to fly it to, I'm not going to tell you where. Like, how did we get here? And look, It is probably an easy thing to have happen. It is. It's probably, I think that I'm trying to be gracious for a second. I really am. I'm trying to extend an olive branch for a second and just, no, just hear me out. I do think that there's something that speaks to these pastors, but I think what has happened is that they have mistaken God for their intrusive thoughts. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't know all of you, I don't know, exactly what your lives are like. I don't know if you grew up with religious or not, or what religion or anything. I'm just saying, as individuals, every single one of us here, if we were to lead a congregation and we were to pass around a jar or a plate, collection plate, anything like that, and everybody gave something because we made a compelling case that it is your job as a citizen of the world to help people that you may never meet, right? Is your actual duty as a living, breathing, empathetic individual that you have to do something if someone somewhere is hurting. You don't need to know them, and you don't need to know why they got there. That's none of your business. It's important to help someone. And then the plate gets passed around, and you make such a compelling argument that everybody puts, $1, $5, $10, or like the Bible says, a tenth of their income to help the poor. And then church is over. Everybody leaves, and then you go to the back office where they have piled up all the money, and you do look at it and go, nigga, we rich. I mean, wow. Oh, we really cooking right now. Oh, man, I get the pinky with the soup. Oh, I'm not going to get the cane. That's too much, but oh. Just looking at a pile of money, a pile of envelopes with a tenth of someone's paycheck in order for them to either spread the word of God or help people that they will never meet, build a well, do something so it matters that we were here, right? And then you see the money and it's stacked pretty high because it's a big church. And you look at all that money and it's hard not to be like, game time? That's a tough thing. A friend said to me today, because I was telling him about the story, and he said to me that if churches did what they were supposed to do, we might not have much homelessness. You know what I mean? It's like if churches were really about it, in a compelling way, in a way that was genuinely uncomfortable. In a way that was like, I'm gonna tell you a story, and you're gonna judge me, but it's fine. I was at a theater when I first moved to Chicago. And when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't have any money, right? And I especially did not have much to spare, but I was at a show, and I was at that show because it was free. So it was a free midnight show that I loved so much. I made sure to go there every Thursday night because I knew it was a free show. I could do something. I could meet other comics. I could, learn by watching them and everything, because everyone on the show was incredibly funny. It was actually a sketch show, ironically enough. And there was a person that came in, and she came in and she clearly had nothing, right? Her clothes were torn and everything. Her hair was a little messed up, and she had a little bit of a limp. And she was asking people for change. And you got to remember, this is like a kind of swanky place. Like it has a little bit of that underground grunge feel to it, but it's also like a nice place with a nice bar and everything. And so everybody was like, no, 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 no. And everyone was varying degrees of like just ignoring, politely saying no, being aggressive, get out of here sort of thing. And then someone came and they asked her to leave, right? And so I see all that happen. I'm sort of sitting in the back towards where the showroom is, and then this was all happening towards the front. She didn't get far in. I watched the show, and I'll be honest, I didn't really think about her while I was watching the show. I was thinking about what an incredible show this was, how thankful I was that it was free and everything. And then the show lets out. And I guess because a couple hours had passed, she gave it another try. So she came in, she was asking people for change. And once again, it was varying degrees of not looking at her, asking her to leave them alone and everything, politely saying no. And so then I had about $3 in my pocket. And so I saw her the second time, and I felt so bad about how the first time went and that I didn't do anything, that I went ahead and I gave her the $3. And when I gave her the $3, she took it and she looked at me and she said, "Oh, thank you so much." And then she jumped and hugged me tight. And what should have been a sweet moment was mainly just me being like, "Oh my God, oh 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 my God, oh, 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 oh." And then she walked off, happy as could be, walked out of the venue. And then I was like, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands, I gotta wash my hands. And I think that, you know, I look back at that and I'm not proud of that. I'm not proud of how I reacted or anything. But that does feel like what church should feel like. Like, instead of just being boring, it should be like, oh my God. Oh wow. Everybody really is welcome. Oh jeez. All right. Cool. I've also been obsessing over that lady on TikTok who was digging in her yard and found that rug. Like, in case you didn't see this, there's a woman that was on TikTok, right? And this will be important later, but she's white, all right? And basically, she was making TikToks for like her fans and her friends and stuff. And in one of her TikToks, she, she comes onto the TikTok and she's like, "Y'all, I think my house is haunted." Okay? And then she starts giving her reasoning, and she does a little tour of her office where all these things are moved that aren't supposed to be moved. She's like, "I'm the only one that comes in here, and this is here, and it's usually up here, and then this is moved over here." And then when I opened my laptop, the laptop was like cracked from the inside. Like, it just, and you could see it. It was like corrupt, like it looked like ink had been spilled. It was so shattered on the inside, right? And she was like, "I don't know. I think I have a ghost." And in my head, I'm watching this, and I'm just sort of pulling from life experience. I'm just kind of like, "You ain't ever been robbed before?" Like, and so then, another TikTok she makes after that is she's digging in her yard. I think they're moving a fence or something. And then they hit something. And then they look at what they hit. And it's like this rug that's been buried underground, right? And it's a thick rug too. And then she's like, making a TikTok being like, "Isn't this weird?" And I was like, "That's a body." That's clearly a body, okay? And then this is the thing. When it comes to every person has different speeds that they operate at, right? You catch them on one day, they might react to you a certain way, another day a certain way. But some people do have like defaults, right? So one thing that's happened in the last like 4 years especially is that anytime a white woman's talking, we jump to Karen pretty quick, right? Like, there's Karens out there, but then sometimes someone will just have a menu and be like, "Does this one have gluten?" And we're like, "Karen!" Like, that's... It's appropriate when it's appropriate, it's not appropriate when it's not appropriate, right? But for everything, there is its opposite, okay? And I think that for us, we do need to start talking about the complete opposite, because we all know this person. We all know the white woman who doesn't want to make a big deal out of anything. We've all met this person. She could literally be on fire. And she's like, "Y'all, I'm just warm." Like, no. You are in danger, Bethany. Let us help you. You know what I mean? Like, she could call you. She could call you in the middle of a robbery. She's at the bodega. It's getting robbed right now. And she calling you being like, "Oh, no, I don't want to bother her. Just if you get around to dialing those like 3 numbers, it would be really helpful."
And this is who we have on our hands in this situation, because I'm not the only one, right? I see the thing and I'm like, that's a body. And then everyone else in the comments is like, girl, that's a body. And this is the thing about internet comments in general, right? At best, almost all the time, random comments on the internet are at least not helpful. They're at least not doing anything for you when you read them, or when you posted them, they're not actually good feedback. I mean, like, it happens a lot, especially because the internet's just out for everybody, you know? Especially on a place like TikTok. People stumble onto your stuff and then they just comment on it, whatever they think. It might have nothing to do with what you're talking about, you know? Like, as an example, years ago, I bought some nunchucks. And I was watching a tutorial on how to nunchuck. And the dude's tutorial was good. He wasn't hitting himself at all. He knew exactly what he was doing, right? But then I went down to the comments to see if it was as helpful to other people as it was to me. And none of the comments had anything to do with nunchuck. The top comment was like, support the troops. And it's like, sure, but how did you get that from this? So for all of her comments to be like, girl, that's a body, I think you should listen. Yeah. She made another TikTok where she was like, another really weird thing that happened was that my stepson was like going to bed and he went to plug in his phone, and when he woke up in the morning, instead of the phone being on 100%, it was on 3%. And you know how ghosts can suck up energy? I'm like, no, we're past this. It's a body. And once again, she was doing that white woman thing, trying to not make a big deal, because, guys, I don't think it's a body. She says, I don't think that it's a body. I'm like, you think it's a ghost? It being a body helps your thing too. Every ghost used to have a body. Why are you acting like we're the dumb ones? And so then she makes another TikTok where she's like, okay, y'all, I called the police. And it's funny because she describes like calling the police and stuff. And when she called the police and told them the situation, I was digging in my yard and I was trying to move this fence. I hit the rug, whatever, and the rug's very thick. We can't just, because that's the other thing. She can't just pull it up. It's so heavy that it's like, it's down there. She would have to dig more to even expose more rug to even try to pull it up. And she tells the police that, and the police are like, that's not like a body. And so the police come out, right? And I am not a cop. I don't know how police work actually works. I don't know what procedure is or anything. All I know is what I saw in the video, because she was also making a TikTok out of the police coming and checking out the hole. And the police, when they got there, I don't know what exactly they were doing, but they were doing that thing where, you know, like when they have their hands in their vest? And so there was one cop that walked up and he was like, that might be a body. So police look it over, because cops came twice, right? Police look it over. Then this part is fuzzy. I don't know what actually happened linking these two things. I don't know if the police said this to her before they left or if they called later and told her this, but basically they were like, look, it's a hole. I get that you're invested and that it's the rug, but we don't have the resources to just like do some big dig in your backyard for a case that's like not an open case or anything. There's not like some missing person or something. So we just, if you want to dig, if you want to dig and then call us if you find something, you can, but like, we're not gonna. And I mean, look, in this case, it was just the rug. It's not like a foot was hanging out or something, you know what I mean? And so then that was sort of that. And so she makes another TikTok where she talks to people and she's like, hey, listen, I know that y'all are all invested. I know that this is weird, but I don't have the money to just dig up my whole backyard just to try to find out what this is, because in the case that it's nothing, I dug up my whole backyard and then I have to pay to, because it was also like going in the direction of her fire pit too, which means she would have had to pull up all that stuff. So she was like, I don't know where this sort of leaves us, right? And she makes another TikTok not too long after that, because what has happened through social is that we're all talking. We're all talking. We're all, like, listening's a strong word, but we're all talking. All right? But you gain the interest, and you can intrigue people from all over the world, right? And so as people are getting more and more invested in this thing, she makes another TikTok a little while later where basically someone was watching her last TikTok about how, yeah, she didn't have the money to just dig up her whole yard and everything. And so then they messaged her and they were like, hey, I own a construction company. I'll dig. I will not be left on a cliffhanger, all right? Digging is what I do. And so then, you know, the next TikTok is her basically being like, hey, this person with this construction company said that they would come over and dig and help me figure it out and everything. So go ahead and tune back in, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to go live and we'll find out together. This is what's really jarring about that, right? Is that TV used to be TV. You used to get your entertainment from TV, and TV was a thing. You used to buy the TV and know that all the TV would happen on TV. But now, slowly, over time, we're TV. Whether we mean to be or not. There's plenty of people who have realized they were TV in real time and been like, I messed up. I did not want to be TV today. You know, TV used to, we're spoiled. You know, we're used to 24-hour news. We're used to 24-hour programming, even pay programming. When a channel runs out of TV ideas, they're like, well, we'll let this person try to sell you something for 3 hours. You know what I mean? TV used to just have a few channels, too. TV used to have like 5 channels. And they didn't even have a lot of ideas. The TV would be like, guys, we're done. TV. You would have your TV on, but TV would be off. Because they were just, they just didn't have any more programs. They were like, you know what it is. We'll see you at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Go to bed. What are you doing up? Why are you still up right now? You have a problem. You need to see somebody, a doctor maybe. You probably have insomnia because you have left this TV on all night knowing that the Dick Cavett show only goes so late. And I didn't know about any of this. My grandpa was telling me, you know what I mean? But like, he was like, yeah, you used to, you know, that used to be how you knew you had a sleeping problem. And now, you know, she's opened herself up to the fact that, like, this incident has made her TV. She even said, tune in at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time. I was like, you have commercials too? Damn. And then soon after that, she makes another TikTok where she's like, okay, so I got a call, you know, construction company calls, but I got another call from homicide. And a part of me was like, duh, it's a body. But she's like, I got a call from homicide that basically they said that they don't know who the last two officers were communicating with because it wasn't them. They must have talked to somebody else who told them to tell me what they told me. Homicide heard about the case, and they were like, we would very much like to check. That's like our whole job, to check if that's a body. And so we're gonna come tomorrow, and they basically tell her, they're like, hey, if we find something, this will turn your house upside down. Are you prepared for that? And she was like, yeah, I want to get to the bottom of this thing. It's been like on my mind, and we're not just curious. It's like, this could potentially be terrifying, And so they're like, okay. And if we don't find anything, then you're free to let the construction company dig and just see, like, get to the bottom of what maybe is dinosaur bones. Who knows, right? So the next day comes, and she says in the TikTok, she's like, look, so still tune in at 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, but I don't know what you're going to be watching. So sure enough, homicide comes. They bring the detectives. They also bring the cadaver dogs, right? And both cadaver dogs signal at the spot in the rug, right? And they even did in different ways, because I don't really know. I don't know much about cadaver dogs. All I know is that the first dog, he seemed a bit junior. Do you know what I mean? That first dog was just a little too happy-go-lucky. You know what I mean? Like he really showed up and was like, oh, what a beautiful day. It's wonderful just be in a yard and be able to run around, stretch your legs, and hang out with your friends and stuff. Oh! Y'all, this is just my opinion. I think that's a body. Second dog comes out, must have been more senior dog. They must bring two just to make triple sure, you know what I mean? Because second dog comes out much calmer, at least to me. Had more of a dignified gait to his walk. Walking around. Yep, that's a body. Ooh, y'all, come get me. That's a body. And it's got to be tough. It's got to be tough to be like a police dog because you don't know you have a job. Think about a police dog, just a dog. They think they're chilling. They think their life is normal. They only have like wild reactions once in a while, Like, I wonder what it would be like to take a police dog to like just the dog park. Have him converse with other dogs and stuff. Running around. That house dog is like, hey, how you doing? Looking good, I love a pup in uniform. Oh, this? Oh, yeah. I wear it all the time. That was, you come to this park often? Oh, yeah, every day. Every day, me and my pal come here, and then, we lets me run around, and then we walk home, and then he feeds me treats, and I take a nap, and the police dog's like, nap? What's that? Oh, when you just get tired and you fall asleep whenever you want. And it's like, okay, must be nice. And you said your owner gives you treats. What kind of treats? House dog's like, oh, all the treats. It's incredible. I get like the beef treats and the chicken treats. I go crazy for the tuna treats. I try to play it cool, but I can't. They're too good. Sometimes I'll play hard to get, but then I'm a sucker for the tuna treats. do you get treats? And police dog's like, yeah, I get treats all the time. What kind of treats do you get? Police dog's like, mostly cocaine. You know, because I'm one of the dogs that they have sniff for the cocaine, and so I'm running all in the house checking for the cocaine. I usually get there first, and so sometimes I take a little off the top, you know what I mean? A couple extra sniffs. You know, this gotta be wild. It's gotta be wild to think as a police dog, you just going for a walk. They're like, smell this. Oh, okay. See what else smells like this out here. You're like, oh, all right. You just on nice stride, you know, running with your pal, and then out of nowhere you're like, something over here smells like, oh my gosh, that's a body. So both the cadaver dogs signal, right? And when they signal, you know, she's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, she's really taking it back. And I think that's also the first time that this becomes like real, because I think, you know, I can't say what was going on in her head, but I can imagine that, like, at the time you're just kind of going through the motions and having your own little true crime thing. But then when there's really something there and it becomes real, like, oh, this is terrible. This is terrifying. And then the police even come over and they're like, hey, you might want to stop recording. And so she makes another TikTok hours later where she's like, hey, I'm sorry I left y'all on a cliffhanger. You know, police were like, hey, maybe you want to stop recording. So I stopped recording and everything. But yeah, there's just people all over my house and stuff. And it was just like, I think it was all hitting her at once. And it must have been overwhelming, you know? And she's even saying to the camera, she's like, and the police, you know, they appreciate the fact that I'm the one that called them and stuff like that. So it's not like they're looking at me or anything. I was like, nope. Call a lawyer. 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 Call a lawyer now. Put the phone down and call a lawyer. Don't talk to me. Call a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Stop talking to me. Call a lawyer. That's a lot to assume. That's a lot to assume. Hey, guys, I just found this body. Like, I have nothing to do with it. You know? And it's got to be tough. Like, I really did try to put myself in her shoes. You know, it's got to be horrific to find something like that, what it might be, all that stuff. I think about what any of us might do. You know what I mean? Maybe not make a TikTok about it, but like what any of us might do. Like, I think about what I would do. I'm a homeowner. I'm digging, I'm moving my fence, you know, and then hit this rug. A rug, by the way, that had a tree planted on top of it. I think about what I would do, right? As Josh, and even more importantly, maybe, as like a black dude in America. I'm not gonna lie, I think I'd be like, yeah. I didn't kill him. You know? So then they like properly excavate and they do a whole dig, and it turns out it's not a body. Isn't it weird to be disappointed? Isn't it kind of weird to be disappointed that somebody is not dead? It's not a body at all. It was a rug that had a tree planted over it that was buried, which, I'm not gonna lie, is way weirder. That's so much more jarring now. There's so many more questions I have now. We understand, it's not right, but we understand how people get got. Like, we kind of, like, there's a part of you, maybe you're in the mob or something like that, but this thing is way weirder. What if that means that your house was previously owned by a freak? That just means That there was someone that owned your house that was burying rugs and planting trees on top. What else were they doing? Licking banisters? What goes through the mind of somebody who buried? What kind of witchcraft is that? I want answers. She gonna be retiling her roof years from now, and there's gonna be a piece of bologna under every tile. What kind of cartoon house is this?
How do you balance weekly stand-up and a daily show?
I work at Daily Show Monday through Thursday, and then we go on the road Friday, Saturday, and sometimes Sunday. And so I know that it's a lot, but it's also everything I've been trying to do this entire time. Like, these are all the things that I've ever wanted to be doing, and they just happen to be happening at once. Another thing that really gives me energy, I guess, is the people that I'm around. I get to be around the coolest people that I've ever worked with at Daily Show, that are constantly, like, whether it's hyping you up or you're able to bounce ideas off of them, and their enthusiasm and the way that they bring, like, their specific talents to the show always make me excited to be a part of it. And then the rest is just doing stand up on the road, which is just meeting all of you and, doing the meet and greets when we can and stuff. And those are real opportunities to get a second to chat, even if it is just a moment where, I understand, especially a late show, people are tired and they want to take the picture and go home and stuff. I'm never, like, thinking about it some type of way. I guess I'm more just so excited to meet the people who enjoy what I'm doing, because sometimes you are creating these things online and it's very easy to see a number of likes or a little ticker go up. And while those things carry their own sort of excitement of, like, oh, that's cool that people are watching, it's not until you meet the people that are watching that you get a real sense of what's going on. And so I don't know, if I'm being honest, if I've thought about balance yet or anything. I sneak in my naps when I can, and one day I will find time to sleep. But sometimes I will say I don't realize I'm asleep. I have definitely woken up and not been sure when I was sleeping. So I guess I get enough sleep.
How do you take care of your mental health?
I think I do lots of stuff. To me, I think you're constantly bombarded all the time with stimulus and with media. And I think that even though most of it is negative, the positive stuff there, whenever you open yourself up to it or whenever you focus on it, is just as overwhelming sometimes. There are a lot of people out there talking about the good things happening in the world. And if you engage with that stuff as much as you engage with, like, mainstream news and being up to date on the latest horrible thing that's happening in every country, I think you can find the balance that's actually happening. Because it's true, all these things are happening at the same time. And I don't know, I think that centers me sometimes, that, like, as many bad things as there are that are happening, there are so many instances of us seeing, like, the good in people and the good in the world and stuff. And so that helps me take care of myself. I have people that I will sometimes message if I'm having a rough time, for any number of reasons, just having those people really help. I think that therapy as well, depending on your version of it and what you found helps you the most, I guess depends on how often you lean on it. And so, yeah, I think therapy, I think engaging in as much positive media as I can, and I think looking up specifically for news stories where something good is happening help me take care of myself.
Why are your tickets $400?
They are not. They're not. I cannot say this enough how much they are not. And because of how social works as well, no matter how many times you post that they're not, it may not reach the people who saw the thing. You know what I mean? Like we're all just missing each other because they're not at all.
One of the reasons that you might see $400 tickets to my show are resellers. So I am trying to make sure everybody can come to the show. I'm trying to make sure that all the tickets are affordable, right? But if someone buys up a bunch of tickets and then they go to the secondary market and they wait until the show is sold out and then they try to sell it to people who want to come to the show but missed it, they're going to charge whatever they think they can get, right? So while it's $400 in this economy, $400. I am not asking that of anybody. $400 is too much money. Okay. I can't sing. Yeah, I mean, like we're not talking about tickets to like somebody who can do backflips or something like that. Resellers are charging these astronomical prices, which is why I tell people to join my email list. If you join my email list, I will let you know when I add shows. I'll also let you know when shows are happening. You'll also get access to pre-sale in some of the markets because we try to email everyone out. There's a whole thing that I'm learning about how like venue have pre-sale tickets and days, and everybody has a certain amount of tickets that they're allowed and stuff like that. But as soon as we can go to you with the ticket, we try to go straight to you. So that way the email is coming from me and then you can get the ticket at its intended price, and we completely cut resellers out of it. Sometimes I even lose words for how best to describe how bad of a thing this reselling is, because it cheats you out of money and it cheats a lot of people out of an experience, you know? Because let's just, for the sake of argument, say the reseller buys my ticket and they're charging $2,000. And then people are like, Josh, love you, nice little quips, nice little witty jokes online, but $2,000, no. Now, somebody who was willing to pay the like $35, $45 that I was charging for the show doesn't get to come. And then this reseller is blocking people from having a good time at the show, you know? So my tickets are not $400. If you see that, you know, not only don't you buy it, but also feel free to warn other people, hey, this thing is not real, you know? So hopefully I've spoken about it well. Hopefully.
Where is your hour-long Netflix special?
It doesn't exist, but I think maybe it could one day. We'll see. The reason I do stand-up is to connect with the people that I'm doing stand-up for. And that's been happening through social, through YouTube, through like live performance as well. So I feel like the connection is there, and it's getting stronger, and it's growing. And so I don't concern myself as much with like, oh, when are we going to get this thing, or can we get this person on the phone or something? Because to me, all things happen as they're supposed to in the right time. And so if there is a day that comes that I have an hour-long Netflix special, then the day that comes will be the day that it comes out. Until then, I'm having a great time posting and writing as much as I can and just sort of putting that stuff out there.
Can you go deeper into your writing/performing process?
Yeah, so I guess I don't know. I could talk about it all day. So I'll try to give like some bullet points. I think when you're writing about anything, in my experience, I think taking the things that you find funny about them and the things that you find interesting about them and believing in them are going to be ways that you connect people to the thing it is that you're talking about. Not everything is interesting, and maybe everything can't be made interesting by a specific person. But I think if there's any like gold that you actually find in something, someone else will connect with that. I think the missing connective tissue sometimes is belief in the thing that you're talking about, and it's in a full understanding of what you're trying to say. And so whenever I'm writing anything, I'm trying to make sure that I'm fully distilling the idea down enough that if you don't know me And if you don't know what I'm like, and if you've maybe even never watched stand-up before, you'll still get what I'm trying to say. And I think that is one of the main things I look for in what I'm talking about and how long I want to talk about it. And then I think that sort of all of life informs other pieces of it. So if I may be talking about one thing that has nothing to do with any of the other topics I bring up in my mind while well, let me see, now I'm rambling. Hold on. If you choose a topic to talk about, right, it may seem incredibly isolated. It may seem like one of its kind. But because of how long humans have been around and because we have cyclical behavior, it's not. So no matter what the thing is, there's something like it that has happened before, even if it's only in spirit. And so I think that as soon as you pick something to talk about, you can find things that are similar to that thing that maybe someone might not understand thing A that you're talking about, but they've experienced thing B. And if thing B is a universal enough experience and you link it back to A, then I think that you can in turn at least give people the option of seeing what you're trying to say. And that's just one way to do it. I think that the other way is like take the thing that is your topic that's most important to you and breaking it down on every level. At some point with those layers, people will start to see what you mean. Whether or not they agree is like completely up to them. And luckily for stand-up, you don't really need anyone to agree with you. You just need them to be enjoying what you're saying and find it funny. Some things that we find funny are because of agreement, and some things that we find funny is because of the absurdity of it and how much we disagree. And so I think that in those ways, you don't really need to have the way a lawyer does an iron tight argument. You more just need to have all of your points built out and know exactly what you're trying to convey. And then that will be the link between you and the people that you're sharing with. I think that, yeah. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. I look forward to seeing you on the road when I come to your city. Make sure to join the email list. It's at joshjohnsoncomedy.com. And I look forward to making more videos for you in the future. You know, I really love what I'm doing right now, and you're part of why I love it so much. Yeah. Till next week. So when I swing my legs, are you getting that? No. Oh, you're not? Okay. That would be my undoing, because they are nowhere near. And it's like, it's hard to take a man seriously when they're swinging like this, because it's a natural thing. Like if they were on the ground, they would be planted enough that it wouldn't be a big deal. But because they're so free, because my knees are really off the edge, there is a dangle that's not only a bit dainty, it's a bit whimsical too. It's not the right vibe to try to be.
The shoes are also Velcro too, so that.
Yeah, okay. These actually aren't my normal shoes. I wore these because I lost my shoes. And so I'm still looking for my real shoes. But then until then, I have these on, and everyone has been looking at me like I need help. I have not encountered anybody in a store or on the street that has seen my shoes and not been, let's just say, extra nice to me. Dangling in Velcro shoes, it's not the look for a grown man. You know what I mean? Like, this is, when I tell you, I'm positive that this is like a walking ick. Yeah, like this is bad. So I was also not happy about it, because I literally asked my girlfriend, hey, do you know where my shoes are? Which is one of the most insane questions you can hit a person with, because your shoes should have been left by you somewhere nearby. But I did not know where my shoes were, and I haven't worn these in maybe a year. I don't even know where they came from. I really don't. Like, maybe I bought them, but I feel like they were a gift, and not just a gift, but like a re-gift. Like, I think they were given to someone my size, and then that person was like, Nah, I can't keep these in the house. Look, it's better than not having shoes. I'm grateful to have more than one pair of shoes, but I'm also praying I find my real shoes. So, because, ugh.
The main shoes, they're what, on?
On clouds, yeah.
When are you going to get an endorsement? I mean, you have those on every show, every stage, all over the country.
That's up to On Cloud. I wear them because they're comfortable. But an endorsement would be nice. That would definitely buy some more On Clouds. Yeah, they might as well endorse me. I would just give the money back to them almost immediately in On Clouds.